exchange in agriculture. In it, I'll be looking at the meaning of stock exchange. I'll also look at the people involved in stock exchange market. Then I'll go further to look at the importance of stock exchange. Also, I'll look at contract farming in agriculture in relation to stock exchange. So let's sit back and listen carefully and be a part of the class. So what is a stock exchange market? A stock exchange market is a market where securities, shares, derivatives, bonds are bought and sold in the market. It is a place where you buy shares to own or to be a shareholder in a company. Stock exchange. Stock exchange is actually made from two words. We have stock and exchange. What is stock? Stock means a part or a fraction of a capital of a company. Remember, capital include money that is used in starting up a company. So what is an exchange? Exchange is a means or transfer of ownership. So putting the two together, it is a kind of a where shares and other securities are bought and sold of a company. For example, have transferred part of a fraction of its capital to be sold out to customers. In other words, if I, as an individual, decide to buy shares from a particular company, maybe like cement companies like this, now my money will be used for the day-to-day running of this establishment. So therefore, I am not a part of the ownership, or I'm one of the members of the ownership of the company. I may not be coming to this company to work there every day, but because my money is being used in the running of this company, I am part of the ownership. So at the end of the year, I will be sent an interest for using my money. So that interest is called dividend. That is what stock is all about. A stock is a kind of investment that you put into a company that you are now part of the ownership of that company. So at the end of the year, if the company is viable in the sense that if they are making profit, that money will be sent back to you as an individual. So you can decide to buy shares from a bank. I remember some years ago, First Bank advertised for shares, and so many individuals actually bought. Even as we are talking now, Dangote Cement is also selling shares presently. So what that means is that if you decide to buy a share from that company, you are now one of the owner of such company. Even though there's a particular owner, but because he cannot afford to carry all the financial requirement of that company, he decided to sell some part of shares out for the public to come and buy. So when that is done, you as the buyer of such share automatically becomes a member of the ownership of such company.
A stock exchange or bourse is an exchange where stockbrokers and traders can buy and or sell stocks, also called shares, bonds, and other securities. Stock exchanges may also provide facilities for issue and redemption of securities and other financial instruments, and capital events including the payment of income and dividends. Securities traded on a stock exchange include stock issued by listed companies, unit trusts, derivatives, pooled investment products and bonds. Stock exchanges often function as continuous auction markets, with buyers and sellers consummating transactions at a central location, such as the floor of the exchange. To be able to trade a security on a certain stock exchange, it must be listed there. Usually, there is a central location at least for record keeping, but trade is increasingly less linked to such a physical place, as modern markets use electronic networks, which gives them advantages of increased speed and reduced cost of transactions. Trade on an exchange is restricted to brokers who are members of the exchange. In recent years, various other trading venues, such as electronic communication networks, alternative trading systems and dark pools, have taken much of the trading activity away from traditional stock exchanges. The initial public offering of stocks and bonds to investors is by definition done in the primary market, and subsequent trading is done in the secondary market. A stock exchange is often the most important component of a stock market. Supply and demand in stock markets are driven by various factors that, as in all free markets, affect the price of stocks. See stock valuation. There is usually no obligation for stock to be issued via the stock exchange itself, nor must stock be subsequently traded on the exchange. Such trading may be off-exchange or over-the-counter. This is the usual way that derivatives and bonds are traded. Increasingly, stock exchanges are part of the global securities market.
Yes, do you know the people involved in stock exchange market? These are brokers, jobbers, authorized clerk, and the unauthorized clerk. See the stock brokers. Here we have the stock jobbers. Also are the unauthorized clerks and the authorized clerk. Jobbers are also known as the principals. They buy stock on behalf of themselves, meaning they are the principals themselves. They are the one that you actually see inside the stock exchange house or floor with computers, and they log in or write the details of what the brokers or stock brokers will provide for them. Usually customers may not see stock jobbers. They are usually inside the floor of the house. They are paid a commission known as jobbers margin for their work or services they render. We have another group of persons, they call them stock brokers. Stock brokers are usually the agents. These people, they go looking for customers who will buy shares from them. For example, I'm buying a share from any company. I will look for a broker who I will discuss with, and the broker will actually collect the details of personal data of my profile and the number of units I'm buying for the share, and you take it down to the office where he will register it with the stock jobbers. So they are also paid a commission known as brokerage. There are other group of persons also known as unauthorized clerk. Before I discuss unauthorized clerk, I also want to briefly talk about authorized clerk. Authorized clerk are also the jobbers and the brokers. They are authorized to buy shares, while unauthorized clerks are those that are never authorized to buy shares. They are serving as errand boys or girls in the floor of the house. So they are paid salaries for their duties. Now, who are those buying the stock we are talking about? The buyers are individuals, organizations, government establishments, government agency, and any other persons or companies that also want to buy. So let's look at the importance of stock exchange, especially as it relates to agriculture. Now, why stock exchange in agriculture? Of what use or benefit it is in agriculture? It has helped in improving the standard of living of the farmers. That means farmers are now living a good life. It provides financial gain, both local and foreign currency, to the farmers, as well as in return to the investors. And also create room for what we call contract farming. What is contract farming? Contract farming is an agreement between an investor and a farmer. So the investor provides money and any other financial or other assistance in terms of equipment, in terms of materials. It can be in terms of pesticides, insecticides, fertilizers, and any other materials that is needed to produce agricultural products. It's provided to these farmers at the beginning of the farming season. And when at the end of the farming season, the farmers are meant to provide harvested products of high quality as agreed between the farmer and the investor. So that is the gain of the investor. It can be a lorry load of plantain from here that will be carried, or that the investor will carry from Benin City to Lagos State, for example. It can also be in other products. For example, here we have cocoa. It can be in plantain production. It can be in yam tuber, any other agricultural product. As far as it's agreed upon between the investors and the farmer, it is a contract farming. Do you know that it can also lead to industrial growth of the economy within that community? Because a lot of farmers will now have high productivity. They can afford to buy so many materials, increasing their standard of living in terms of infrastructure, so the economy will be great. A lot of items or goods that the farmers were unable to afford before then, they will now continue to buy them because there is a lot of money within the circulations of the farmer. So therefore, farmers are now living a high standard of living. They can afford to eat good food. That means the farmer will feed on enough balanced diet and they will be nourished in terms of nutrients in food. So this will be in terms of both animal protein and plant protein. Yes, I hope you have been following the discussion right from the beginning of this topic. And I also hope that it will be an interesting and also an exciting topic since the beginning. So next week, I'll come your way with another exciting topic. See you in class. Bye.